And we're live. What's up, world? Welcome back to Think Muzic Podcast. It's the Gnosis.
Dap Dun- ooh. Dap Dunlap.
Back for another Friday night showdown. Get some of this alkaline.
Yeah, I'm about to grab mine real quick.
Pause. Alkaline. Vegan water. What's up, Flex? Back in the house. About to get rolling here. Let's see. Need to. I need to play some elevator music. About to get rolling here. Try to let a couple more people get in. Upside down world. So you've been seeing deeper in this upside down world. This shit is bonkers.
What's going on, Flex?
Yeah. So yeah. So what's the so the title was Upside Down World. So
Well, let's talk about how it started, man. I guess let's take it back to when you sent me. What's the guy named Sean?
oh yeah,
Mhm.
Sean Cannell.
Yeah. So when you sent me that was like the start off of. For those that don't know, we just we know a lot of people have eyes to see. What we're going to talk about, people know, but some don't. And Jamal sent me a screenshot of this guy named Sean Cannell who he has a YouTube and everything, but his thumbnail was him like slapping his face like Home Alone or something, right, or something like that. And we listened to this other guy, and do we want to say who the other guy is? But we listened to this other guy, and he's saying that YouTube is now the everyday person is the new Hollywood influencer in a sense. So if you got a huge following on YouTube or something like that, he believes that you get this email and they try to bring you in to help promote. They pay you to help promote YouTube and maybe give you ideas to help promote YouTube through them. And so these people come up with different type of ideas to get your subscribers up, get your channel popping, how to do your videos, what thumbnails to use. Like they give you the whole play. And when you look at it, it's like, okay, are we doing that to help people be great YouTubers? Or are we doing that to bring as many people into the fold as possible? So if their channels blow up, it's like a feeder for YouTube, possibly. So he sends me. You had anything?
Well, I just want to say too, just real quick, that
Mhm.
but that this is an extension of something greater.
Right.
So, and that's gonna. But yeah, go ahead.
So he sends me that, and I'm like, we talk about that offline. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, like that, like we said even more, but basically what I said is what we were chopping it up about. Then he sends me another picture. No, yeah, I think you sent me or did I send you something? I think you sent me something, another picture, and what was that picture of? Because I was looking at my phone. I was looking at my phone, and I was like, "Yo, like this is crazy." Oh no, I sent him something I seen, right? So I look at this channel called Real Men, Real Men. It's about guys in fashion, but this guy also, attempts to talk about, um, almost like a motivational speaker type person also. But on his channel, they talk about how men should dress and think, different things like that. So in his thumbnail, he has a guy standing there with his hands like this. So we know this is Masonic, and it's circled. So I watched the video to see where he was gonna go. Was he gonna tap into the symbolism? And he doesn't, right? The whole video, he does not. The name of the video was 10 Powerful Signs of a Confident Man. Do you display these? With that symbol I just showed you, right? It says confident men do this. So we know in Masonic lingo, they're called traveling men, right? I'm a traveling man, I believe. So that symbolism is telling what it was telling me was this is what men in power are doing. Like this is what they down with this right here. He doesn't go into it in the video, but for those who know, it was a calling card. And then what I was saying to Jamal earlier also was for those who don't know what it is, are going to inquire what it is, and then that's when they could bring you into the fold, possibly, right? So you saying, "Oh, what's that?" And then they come in and tell you, "Oh, I'm a part of something, and that's a symbol within it. Oh, what's that about?" Tell you about it, and then offer you in. Yes, they blended Freemasonry into everyday life for everyday. Exactly,
Yeah,
everything is
yeah.
wide open, bro. And if you don't
Everything is
know, everything is open. But this is the real information age. Like we've been talking, like I was just telling him offline. I think it's been the last 7-10 years, but everybody been saying we in the information age. We in the information age. They playing it. So then he sends me. Now he sends me another picture. So this dude's walking down the aisle with his daughter, and he has his hand in his suit jacket. Now we know that means. Now what I just came across a video I was watching, and they were talking about what that hand symbolism mean, and they were saying that you are part of the hidden hand controlling things, and it was from a the time was probably I think like sometime in the 1800s they were talking about it. So he sends me that, and I'm reading the caption, and it's like, my daughter asked me to post these two pics for your YouTube peeps. I don't know why, but anywho, you know what I'm saying? So it's all nonchalant, but it's like that's the symbolism. So I see that. Then lo and behold, earlier today, I'm on YouTube and my subscriptions, Rick Ross' new single comes up. This guy has his hands over his face, but one of his hands is away from his his right eye, but his left eye covered. And he looked like grandma. He got his hat on, he got his shawl on, and he has some gloves on, but he's doing the one eye symbolism. So
Church
like,
lady usher gloves.
yeah, let me see if y'all could. Let me see. It's gonna be too blurry for y'all to see it, but so I'm looking at. So I hit Jamal, yo, bro, look at this. So then we talking, we like, yo, like what's going on? And it's like Flex said, blending that Freemasonry thing into everyday life and bringing people in, trying to get people to question, because it's kind of ironic for it to be so secret that there's been videos that these guys are saying that they're losing membership and they're trying to get members in, and they're doing makeshift rituals over, where a ritual might take, the whole ritual might take a month or so or whatever. Now they say you could become a Freemason over the weekend, and it's like, what's really going on? Like what are they trying to tell us? So that's how we got here.
Man, where do you begin? Something interesting I noticed a couple years ago. Yahoo was bought out by this corporation called Oath. 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 So the Yahoo is not Yahoo. They still maintain their brand, but they are part of, that's the real name of Yahoo is Oath. And I thought that was so interesting, so it's like to be a part of, my bad, I'm less than my ear over here. It's like, so to be a part of that, affiliated with that organization, you have to take an oath. And it's like, it seems to be lining up. What's up, Brian? It's just funny how that name emerges. And I don't think it's by happenstance. I don't know much about the organization, but my spidey senses say that whenever everybody's running to something, I'm going to either go in the other direction or I'm going to stop moving. And the thing is this: we're seeing the world flip upside down right before our eyes. As a matter of fact, it already has. What we're seeing is resources are becoming scarce, be it manufactured. They're scarce, and all of us have an animalistic nature and instinct towards survival. And in our chart, it's one place we find it is Mars. Mars is our natural survivor instinct. And so when you put people in a position where they are more concerned about their resources, you're going to bring out the animal. If the animal has not been like we've spent all this time talking about, oh, your root chakra and, your lower self and your low vibrations, all that bullshit is out the motherfucking window now.
Right.
That shit's gone because now motherfuckers that they ain't concerned now bit about none of all that shit because they straight up in a Martian self. What I gotta do to survive? Sell you some fake grease, take some Grecian formula and put it in a bottle from Dollar Tree and resell it and say it's healing your whatever I got to do, and then you may or may not get shit.
Yeah.
Then, so what I'm getting at is that if an organization can tell you that we have a golden parachute for you, a safety net, to where you ain't got to suffer like the rest of these peons, then what might people do if they feel like it can make their path easier?
Yes. Yep, that's where we at. And if you're not careful, you will haphazardly fall right in to the ploy. And so, so that's why everything, the digital age is here. It's here. It's just things haven't been named yet, but it's here. The police state is here. It's all ready. I'm watching Bloomberg. No, I'm watching Yahoo News. A guy that owns I want to say the name of the company is called Nivea, and he's into the getting the metaverse going. And I was gonna try to, because it's a video I think people need to check out, man. Just because I these people are ramping this thing up so quick and are working so hard to get VR, which is virtual reality, and this metaverse thing going. I just seen another video today where they were talking about the fashion inside of the metaverse is going to be the new product that take off, because you're going to be able to spend real money to buy digital clothes to put on your avatar in the VR. Sneakers, high fashion, they already got it set up. They already have it set up. So now, and I peeped this a couple years ago. My son was playing NBA 2K. So he'd be like, yo, Dad, I need to go to GameStop and get one of, I need to go get this game card. And I'm like, yo, like, why you always need to go get these game cards? What's going on? And he's like, I need to, I'm trying to buy something inside the game and you got to get this game card. So I said, Johnny, like, you're not getting anything tangible, but you're spending real money. And he's like 16, 17. He's like, I know, Dad, but I just need to, like, I want to get these sneakers in the game, or I want to get this whatchamacallit in the game. So I peep, like, you're spending real money on digital items that you're never gonna be able to physically wear. You're never gonna be able to physically do anything. It's all for inside of the game. And they're raking in real money. And go ahead, go in.
Which is real energy.
Which is
because if human energy had to go into so-called earning this fiat, then this is high stakes vampirism.
Yep. Yep.
But that's it. You got it.
So I'm trying to scroll and find this video, but um so everything is lining up. Now they're gonna have your clothes. They still pushing universal basic income. So I started, I was at the shop today. I'm at the barber shop, me and my barber and a couple other guys in there, other barbers in there talking. And I'm like, with the universal basic income and with virtual reality and this metaverse and all these things, they're really trying to bring the matrix online. Like, they want to give you enough money to make you happy to go out and get a couple things. Soon as you come home, you and your family slap on the Oculus, Facebook's own Oculus. They already have a headset for virtual reality. You come home from work or whatever you're doing outside, slap on the headset, and go be King Richard. You know what I'm saying? Go be who you want to be in this virtual world. They got virtual sites too, where, they're building virtual places where you could buy virtual real estate and build on it and then virtually rent it to people. Like, rent rooms and stuff to people, bro. This thing is ramping up faster and faster and faster. And you got all these tech companies pushing it forward. So, last week I think I said, I think it was last week, I was like, the thing to do is, okay, so the name of the video is "The Omniverse is Closer Than People Think." And this guy, and this is a 21-minute video. I wish I could skip to the part and just and let him just tell you what they're doing with this machine learning. They're creating apps for machine learning. So then when they put it out into the public, it can do its own thing, almost like it's sentient. So we're in for a crazy ride. We're in for a crazy ride. And no one's talking about that. My thing is this. Like I told my friends at the barbershop, I said, listen, I don't mind technology, but give me the pros and cons of the tech. These people, they be on Yahoo News and Bloomberg and CNBC and all of this. They always just, it's gonna be great for the people, and then they always say the people want it. Like, you ain't take no poll to say the people want this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You always say the people want it, and it's the next step, and everyone's ready for it. Yo, ain't nobody like you. No, we're not. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just moving forward and pushing it, and you're forcing people to be ready for it. Because there's gonna be people out there that want to try it and see what it is. You know what I'm saying? You have those adventurous folk. But yeah, to be on some type of financial show talking about, the people are ready and it's the next step in human evolution. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just stuff. And then you're not giving me the con of it. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's bubble gum and gumdrops.
Yeah, and that be my whole thing with any, like, whatever people doing, bro. Like I was telling them at the shop, like, I don't mind how the AC came about. You know what I mean? Like, I like having AC in the car and some central air in the house. If I ain't gotta be outside dealing with that 98-degree heat, I'm with that. But also, what's the other side of it? You know what I mean? And does it make sense? Because these people moving so fast, it doesn't, like, some of the stuff it doesn't make sense, and we're gonna find ourselves trapped because of all this technology, man. Like, so
We're already collectively we're already trapped because people collectively, again, are not interested in their own technology.
Mm-hmm.
So they that has what has opened the gate to where they have to make an exchange. Um, these things are they're great tools used in the right way,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like an entity. Like they talk about a walk-in, a walk-in entity, you know, that's what this is literally. It is an entity is walking in, and the people are so fascinated with the bright lights
Mm-hmm.
that they don't even see what's, you know, and
And they
this is
gave you
just
a
one
piece.
facet.
Yep. And they
Mm,
gave you a piece with the Sims game. Remember the Sims game? That was a
mm,
computer game. It was
remember
called the
that.
Sims game, like simulation, where you could be characters in the game and create uh create basically create an online world.
Mm,
It was in the city. You could build in there, but now they're taking the Sims and actually putting you in it.
mm,
You know what I mean? And it's like when you seen the Sims game, it was like, oh, that's cool. Like you didn't think nothing of it. Because like, okay, I'm playing it I'm looking at it on my computer screen. Like I'm not in the computer. I'm not in the computer. I never played it or anything, but you would see the commercials and stuff like that. But now looking back, it's like, yo, that was the what they call it, the predictive programming for what they doing now, you know? So uh yeah, Flex. Yeah.
mm,
Now check this out. So I went to the video and it lines up with what you just said, Flex, and I love synchronicity. This guy writes, so when humans learn how to behave in the virtual world called Earth, they will get to be downloaded into an actual human form, i.e. heaven. I was just like, yo, that was kind of ill. Then this guy says at the 4 minute mark of this video, now he says, I dig the idea. Train the robot in the virtual world before releasing it into the wild, meaning in our world. And then someone says, this is how you don't get a Skynet. Better to find out there is an issue after it kills virtual people rather than real ones.
mm,
Yeah, this thing is about to go crazy. And like even looking at these comments, like people are awake, but there's no one stopping this thing, man. These guys they're just running. And then because we live in capitalism, if it, our world is based on, capitalism, if it
mm,
makes sense and it make money, oh, keep pushing the envelope, keep pushing the envelope. And the society is already overwhelmed right now with the digital landscape. You just had the Colonial Pipeline hacked, supposedly. They had a ransom. You just had I remember this is probably 10 years ago. Remember Target got hit and all them debit cards and credit card numbers were um were taken. I think Home Depot or Lowe's some years back had a situation like that. So the virtual world is already um being, you know, manipulated by these hacker guys, and now you're trying to really get everything cashless and where everything is just online. And it's like, what kind of not ransomware, but what kind of security do you have like in protecting these things? And that's not what, I never see nobody talking about, at least not recently, about, oh, we're the security company, and we building these type of, we're building these systems to protect the digital world, because that's where we heading. I never see that. I always see, like, we're trying to get AI, and we're doing EV cars, electric vehicles, and e-bikes, and it's always that. It's like never the opposite of, like, who's the supposed cyber pandemic. It's like no one's talking about the security piece. Yeah, I haven't heard of the cyber pandemic yet.
Yeah, it's been a few rumblings of it. Well, especially like amongst like astrologers, because Uranus is going to make its final square to Saturn in December, and Uranus is partly deals with technology, and Saturn with restriction and regulation. So yeah, it's been some rumblings of that, but yeah, but keep rolling. So you're saying
I just haven't seen anyone on the security side come out saying we bringing this into the public to protect the people. Yeah, I just keep seeing just the forward push of getting us to this digital world, and you know what's the other side? You know what I'm saying?
I think too, you got to come back and consider, like you've been saying, like when we be talking on the phone, like getting back to analog.
Oh yeah,
It's,
for sure.
because it's like, okay, this train is already done left the station.
Yeah.
It's already rolling, so it ain't even no contemplation. Um, um, so it's like, so what can be done? And I think the analog piece is like, when you go out now, I want everybody to especially pay attention this week and next week and through the rest of the year, because it's a lot of contentious energy in the air already. You know, um, you're just gonna start seeing crazy wrecks, car accidents, and people driving even more crazier. Uh, like this weekend and on throughout the rest of the month. But just look at people. Just look at people's nature. I went in Sam's tonight, and so um, I'm just gonna be straight up. I fucking hate people. I hate them. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because I don't hate people. I hate the nature that people um, have taken on. You know, uh, very aggressive. Me. Only I exist. Um, um, in your way. I'm in a hurry, but I don't know where the fuck I'm going. Um, and so, how can people work on an analog when they've been conditioned, and they allow themselves um, to be further shaped into this automaton. They're running on straight up automation. It is here. It is here. Like um so I don't know, man. It comes back to those, like we've been saying, little small communities of like-minded people. Um and everybody gonna pretty much have to hunker down where they at. There is nowhere on the globe you can go unless you are of that 3%, you know, um, who probably already got, either they're behind some huge property that's got electric fences or whatever, or they underground or whatever. But there's, for the common person, there ain't nowhere to go. You know, um, you're gonna have to be hunker down where you at, and then it's
Yeah, you got to get to know your town, your area, some
yes,
resources, some
yes,
lakes, some good fishing spots. That's that, you know. Don't want to don't you know, my thing is I don't want to do the doomsday, but like you got to be on your low key prep and
yeah,
where you at. You know what I'm saying? You got to find it where you at because like you were saying, analog is the new digital. So, I'll be bugging off my daddy got a flip phone, but I'm like, damn, the flip phone might be almost the way. Now
yes.
you don't want to text on that joint. You know what I'm saying? It take you a month and a day to get a text message out of that joint. But, it has no GPS on it. Um, it has no it ain't no speech to text on it. You know what I mean? And your car. It might be time for you to go get your favorite old school now. It might be time to go get that 78 Eldorado with no chips in it, with a carburetor. You know what I'm saying? So if you moving around, you ain't trapped. Like I be looking up old joints. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you got to look at the year they started putting them electric chips in cars, and find you something going back, and you might have to get you an old land yacht, old Lincoln Continental Coupe or something. But no one's gonna know where you're going in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like as much as we're moving digital, you know, it's good to know what's going on, but then it's like, how do I uh try to, you know, like Jamal said, stop running and sit, and stand still while everybody's running. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I know we all got the internet and we got IP addresses and all of that. But as much as it's like moving forward, if you could stay as analog as possible, at least you got some type of fight and you're not being tracked as easy. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we gotta step and another thing too, man, like cats, we just gotta and we gotta step up our learning game. We gotta step up our we gotta step into some things that we probably never thought about stepping into. Farming, fixing your own car. Cause like now let's just keep it a stat. The older the car you get, the easier it is to fix also. You know what I mean? Engines weren't so complicated. But, you know, um, so we gotta really step into um our old school way of living when people was doing the work with their hands, bro. Like we didn't have to do anything with our hands for real, except protect ourselves in the streets. You know what I mean? Unless you was that type of person, unless you went to Voltech or something and you got into that world. But for the most part, we ain't have to till no land. Like, we didn't grow up on farms or we had to get up at 5 in the morning and go milk cows and all of that type stuff, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We grew up with go get the carton of milk out the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? So when we go analog, we also have to become a little more self-reliant and proficient so you could take care of yourself.
And
Said I
two,
ride a horse if it was feasible. Your flex is funny. Uh,
and two, um, multiple worlds are obviously being created.
mm-hmm.
So we have to be like creating our own versions of worlds.
Yes,
Like
indeed.
War of the Worlds. Like this is it,
Yep.
And so that like we're having to have this balance of the here, the above and the below. Like there's a lot of emphasis being placed on basic survival,
Mm-hmm.
but what's really going to be tested is our mentality or the strength of our mental.
Right.
A lot of people was really, like we said last week, was really snapping just by being in their own house.
Yep.
And so if the people are conditioned a certain way, it may not take as much of this external forces that we anticipate. It might just be figuring, what does an algorithm do? What does AI do? It tracks your nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what does media do? It helps to formulate nature.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a machine to condition. Then we have all these mechanisms in place to measure the effectiveness of our conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a great challenge for us. And whatever spirituality that you are into,
Tap in.
now is like we used to say when we played football, it's nut cutting time.
Mm.
You know, let's see it. You know, if you're a Christian and or you're a Muslim or and you've been preaching to everybody about faith, well, let's see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you the super magician and and you are God Almighty yourself, then
Excuse me.
let's see it because the things are going to ratchet up. We can already see, bags on the pumps when you go to the gas station. Gas prices ridiculous. Uh, Price of chicken ridiculous.
Yeah. You was just
Can't
saying
even
something.
find napkins. Like, come on, napkins and Sam's. Come on, just bullshit. Just it's a game. Just let's don't send in a napkins. Let's see how the goyim act when they don't, you know.
Yep.
So
That's a
we see it, man.
yeah.
Um,
Yep. To circle back what you were saying about people not wanting to be at home. When I first heard that, I was like, I started thinking about it, and I'm like, for those that are not homebodies, you figure you go to work for 8 hours. After work, depending,
She's funny.
right? Um, After
Couple of
work,
shekels.
you go out to eat, you get drinks, okay? Then, you go home, you get your shower, whatever, you go to sleep, you wake up, you back to work. That was some people's circle, you
Hmm.
know. That was some people's loop. Then when people had to stay in the house, I remember I told you the story. Like I see this lady and I'm at one of my accounts and this lady in the parking lot. And I'm like, now you'd have been in this parking lot for a minute. And I get leery when people sit in the parking lot at my account because I'm like, it ain't no reason for you to be in this parking lot.
Hmm.
So she peeped me peeping her. So she pulls up, and I'm on the ready. She rolls down the window, like, I'm sorry. I live around the corner. I just come over here to get away from my kids for a little bit and play my game on my phone. And, I just need a little air. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I seen your car and, I didn't really know what was going on. So she was like, yeah, I'm sorry, if I bothered you, but, I just needed a break. And that's when I knew because when you hear stuff on the news, it's just like, like where y'all be getting this information from?
Hmm.
But when that lady told me that in real time, I was like, yeah, kids is, because you so used to your kids going to school for 8 hours or such. And then when you come home, like you kind of got a schedule. Like y'all get home from school, do a little homework, get a little playtime, take a bath, you going to sleep. That's my interaction with you for real. But now you at home all day. She was like, I needed a breather. So um and then we started hearing about the relationships people were in and some abuse going on. And it's like, if you can't go to work and you get away from your abuser for 8 hours because you at work and then you coming home and hoping he or she's in a good mood and you don't want to be in there beefing and now you at home all day and anything set this guy or this woman off, so it's like, the pandemic really uh it I always tell people this: true human nature is right under the surface. Because how you know it is, let somebody say something to you out of pocket, you go left. If you don't have control of yourself. So anger, I'll do something to you. All of that stuff is right under the surface, bro. It ain't nowhere. We're all cordial grocery shopping and being in Sam's Club and BJ's, and we're all cordial, might give you a wave or something. But let me hit the back of your foot with a car. Motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, just that quick, it
Yep.
went crazy.
Yep.
So it's always on the things going out of whack is always right there under the surface, man. And so to circle back to the digital thing, I think that's what they're doing, bro. They're like, listen, if we can get everybody in the digital world, it's gonna calm down a lot of things in the street and a lot of things in the world. We'll turn them into a battery. And then, whatever they plan is for having us in that position is what they want. And for a person that, if just say you the guy that worked at McDonald's, you 40 years old, no education, you worked at McDonald's, and now you can get this VR and be who you want to be in VR. You know what I'm saying? You're going to come home, eat you a McRib, put that Oculus on, and be who you want to be for hours on end. That's why I be telling people watch Inception, you know, watch The Matrix. What Cypher say? I know this steak isn't real, I know, I know I'm eating this steak and I know I can't really taste it. And then what he tell Agent Smith? I want to be somebody. Maybe an actor or maybe a politician. And erase my memory. I don't want to what do he say? I don't want to remember nothing of
Mm-hmm.
this life. Zap me and have me straight in the matrix. I don't ever want to remember there wasn't a matrix. And you're gonna have some people that buy into that because they think it's gonna be the better way because you can't get a foothold in the world. But what the thing about the whole footworld in the world, and we was talking about this in the shop today, because we live in a world of capitalism, they programmed you to always want, want, want. You could turn want off, but you don't think you can. I always use the adage of watch Sunday football. You get 3 games. You watch football from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. You're gonna see 1,500 four F-150 commercials, 1,500 Dodge Ram commercials, Chevy Silverados. On Monday, you're going to buy a truck, and you just bought one 2 years ago. But the programming is so heavy on us that you like, damn man, I done seen this truck commercial so much. I'm gonna go to the Dodge dealer and look at me a Ram. Don't even need it, but that's the programming. You know, you gonna go buy a case of beer on Monday. You're gonna see all these beer commercials. Everybody in the backyard grilling and drinking Heinekens and Miller High Lifes and then they throw the new beer. They sneak the new beer in there, and then on Monday you go get the new beer, the 0-calorie beer, or the you know what I'm saying, or the new ice beer, or the new Mike's Hard Lemonade. So they bombarding you, because like my barber said, if you stop spending, America's shot, because it's based on spending. And then we program to just want what we want, and we have a lot of wants, and they're not needs. But the wants is what keep the system going.
The upside down world too is, if you just look at a chart, if you take all of the undeveloped expressions of every placement, it is the upside down world.
Mm-hmm.
Venus is okay. Let's just go. Let's start with the sun. Sun is natural expression, right?
Yes.
Sun can also burn shit up.
Right.
So as your energy just getting burnt up, wasted. The moon, the moon um, uh, controls the tides. If there's nothing grounding you, then the tides, though, are constantly fluctuating.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos. Okay. Mercury. Um, Electricity. Communication. Fast, back and forth. But Mercury becomes problematic when it can't sit the fuck still. So we just go all the way down all the different planets, and it's like our world is set up to tap into the more undeveloped aspects of each one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And like what you're talking about, the truck, Venus, desire. What do I desire? And then why do I desire this?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because that story of Psyche and Venus and the golden ass? That Psyche and Venus is really the same.
Mm-hmm.
But Venus in the story becomes the egocentric aspect, and Psyche is the innocence of the soul. And it's like So Venus becomes vanity. Oh, I just want to have this just so I can stun on these motherfuckers, you
Right.
know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I don't really. I desire, but I don't desire this because it's a soul desire. I desire this through the undeveloped nature of my desires, through the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And so this whole thing is set up to highlight and bring out that aspect of all of us, if possible, or as many people as can be,
Mm-hmm.
and thus the upside down world.
There's a movie called Upside Down. Um, I remember watching this movie, and the actress Kirsten Dunst is in it. She played in the first Spider-Man joint, and an actor named Jim Sturgis. And in the movie, they live in basically the world she live in is where it's always the have and have nots. Where she live at is the haves, and where he live at is the have nots. But their world is upside down. So he gets to her world. I mean, this movie's wild, man. Y'all got if y'all can find this joint, watch this joint. And he gets into her world because like they were childhood friends, and she wound up going up to that world, and he stayed down in the other world. And but he was trying to get up there with the have nots, and that's the most I remember for her right now because I seen it so long ago. But I think if you watch it, it'll tie into what you're talking about. It'll tie in. It's a
Mm-hmm.
ill joint. Um, but yeah, it came out in 2012. It's called Upside Down. So check that out. And if you have Netflix, check out the Total Recall remake with Colin. Um, what's his name? Uh, Colin Farrell. In that movie, what you're gonna see, because it's dystopian, and in that movie, once again, it's the haves and the have-nots. They killed majority of the world from a nuclear bomb. On one side is the haves, other side is the nots, and he works where the haves are, working on machines that patrol where he lives, where the have-nots are. And for him to get to the other side, they have to drive. He's on a train that's underground, and they have to go across the core to Earth for him to get to the other side. And the other side, where the haves are, is where where Britain is, where England is, and then they're on the other side of the Earth. It's a wild joint. Check that out if y'all have Netflix. Total Recall. It came out in 2012 with Colin Farrell, not the one with Schwarzenegger. That's a good movie to check out. Um, just for understanding what this thing could possibly look like uh once it's in full bloom. Because I think they're gonna leave us to our own devices, and you know, it's no different than watching Hunger Games and Divergent and all of that. We go have to fend for ourselves and find our way around and all of that, and they're gonna have all the high technology and live in the quote unquote. Watch Eon Flux, same thing. There's so many movies out there depicting it. Eon Flux is another one with
Look,
Charlize Theron.
it's already going down in real time. Like in Dallas, in North Dallas off of Greenville, there's this community that they have built, They got a golf tee, call that shit. You go and hit off the tee. A driving range. Now this is a master planned community, and it's not houses. It's like these high end apartments, but they got their own little
community inside.
Yes. It's all gated off, and they got a softball field.
Yep.
You know, they call them down here master plan communities, but normally they give that title to houses. This is some new shit.
Yeah, they have one like that, and it's called. It's in Raleigh. It's called Bedford. Now it's not gated off, but my son, and this thing sits right. I mean, it's so nondescript, bro. Not that it's nondescript, but everything around it is. And when you get to it, you're like, damn. Like, bro, when I had to take my son, my oldest son was in junior high, and he had went to a one of his friends' houses to do some schoolwork. They was all working on like a big project or something at one of his friends' houses. But I had to drive through it to get to the friend's house. And when I drove through that, I'm like, yo, where are we at? Like Raleigh's nice, but this was like super nice. I'm talking about the grass was pristine green. I'm talking about when you could walk on it and like your feet fall in the ground type lushness. Like it was crazy. Then I'm driving through, yo, they had a cleaners in there. They had a pizza shop. They had a store. They had, they had the pools and basketball courts and all that stuff. But it was its own, you didn't have to leave the community, man. Yep. It's off Falls and Noose Road going up towards Wake Forest. And but when you drive back there off the road, you wouldn't even know this place was back there, bro. $1 million homes, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow. So one day I just drove through it, and that shit sits right back. Elysium is another great movie, Straight Panther. Another great movie for sure. And I was just like, wow, like who knows this is here? And they had all those. So you didn't have to leave. Basically, what I was getting at though was you didn't have to leave that neighborhood. You know what I mean? Now, I wasn't no big grocery stores or nothing back there like that. But like, if you just needed something real quick, oh, I need some ketchup. Like it was a store right there for you that had the bare necessities, so you don't got to leave your neighborhood for real. Yeah, it was crazy. Elysium is a great movie with Matt Damon, and it was the same thing there. All the elite lived off planet on like a huge ass international space station type thing, and all the have not stayed on Earth with being policed by machines, giant machines. And Matt Damon's character worked in one of the factories that made the machines. Yeah, it's crazy. That's a good movie though. But yeah, man, it's like you said, it's here. So now, the solution is try to become analog, and don't chase everything that's digital. But it's gonna be tough because I think just like getting on the crypto thing, a lot of these major banks are starting to head to crypto. And once the federal government get an understanding of it, because I think they're in the preliminary stage of getting an understanding of what this crypto thing is. And once they comfortable with it, We cashless, we
Yeah.
cashless. And I'm not saying in 2 years or 3 years. I'm talking, you know, down the road. But, they already have online banks. Because I was at the bank today, I was talking to, the lady that was helping me. And, you got Chime and, you know, I think it's another one called Go To Bank. And like they pushing everybody to this online banking. And, you know, I'll put it like this. I have an 8-year-old son. By the time he's my age, the world is gonna look very different. And that'll be probably right. He's 8, so you talking 4. Yeah, I'll be on my way out of here.
10
So
years from now, the world is going to look very different. You
mhm.
even got to even wait till, um,
Yeah, we definitely gonna see some stuff in our time for sure. For sure. For sure. I used to tell my wife, I was like, yo, like, we might need to keep some cash home just because you don't know. Like it might be time to get a little safe because a bank holiday happened. You ain't gonna be able to get your bread out the bank. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying put all our money in the house, but might need to keep like a stack just hidden away. Just a rainy day fund where it's just like, something happened because they do stuff like that to you. They'll do a bank holiday out of nowhere on you. And you'll be like, damn, the bank ain't open, boom, 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 can't go in the bank or 7. And it's like, I've been thinking about that for a minute.
yeah, yeah, partnerships, partnerships. Though at the end of the day, um, everything that society has been trying to tear down, you know, it's been for a reason. Um, because it serves as a countering measure to everything going on now. You know,
Mhm.
if you got a significant other, you know, and they ain't knocking the shit out of you, going upside your head, or you know, around here stealing money out your purse, and uh, it's this is the season for learning how to really communicate. You know, really learning how to support, um, and all the shit that the fly shit that people been saying on the internet about doing your shadow work and all that. Like shit has to like it is upon us, um,
hmm
because the nodes will shift soon, and we're getting a glimpse of it next week because we got a full moon in Taurus, which is where the North Node will be heading. And security is going to be a big issue. And I'm just not talking about security like internet security or, you know, your house secure, but I'm talking about just security, period, on
hmm
all levels. You know, security in yourself, who you are, security in how you express, security and relationship,
hmm
um, are going to be very prominent. It's because whenever people's because security is being threatened,
hmm
you know, through resources. So if you don't have any just at the root, don't have no basic security in who you are, when external resources are threatened,
Talk
which
about it.
then it's going to really bring to the surface internal insecurities.
Yep.
That's the nodes. Scorpio. Whenever a word has a SC, scissors, Scorpio, science, schism. SC means to cut. And so Scorpio wants to cut and get down to the brass tacks. Let's cut through the bullshit. Let's get down to what it's all about. Okay. Taurus is more on in the exterior world, or the physical world of security. And so if the Scorpio ain't dealt with when the Taurus is impeded on, and all that shit that ain't been flushed out rises back up to the surface now. Now we got fecal matter everywhere. Solar sun, solar. I'm a Scorpio, Venus, Mars, and rising. Oh man. What house you got all that in? Oh, rising. Scorpio rising. So you got Venus, Mars, and your ascendant in the first house. Wow. So this is the person that's gonna give you the the dead stare. Scorpio risings. The piercing. Let's get down to the point. But yeah, so Pluto exalted in Sagittarius. Okay. Wow. So Pluto in your second house. Brianna said blunter than blunt. Yep. So yeah, man, we got our work cut out, but you know, don't throw your magic away. Don't throw your spirituality away.
Nope.
Don't throw whatever you into. Be into it. You know, it's you know, ain't nobody got the monopoly on shit out here. Just whatever you into, hunker down on it.
11 Rogue Disciple 11. Excuse me. I seen that Matt Damon commercial. And you know the funny thing is the person who created Bitcoin name is Satoshi. So when you look at the commercial next time, look at the woman that's leading the people walking towards the camera, and around she has the suit on, and around her neck it says Satoshi. I thought that was just wild that that was on that commercial. And I think she's kind of Asian, looking or whatever, but yeah, that they had his name on her neck of her suit, on the neck of her suit. And I thought that was kind of bugged out. Yeah. And he's the guy that played in the movie Mars too, where he went to Mars by himself to set up the colony. I think the name of that movie was, Mars or something. So yeah, it's funny they got him in that crypto commercial, and then he walks out the door and he walks like off planet or whatever. I don't know what these noodles got going on, bro, but it's wild. It's wild. And I think, like you said, get into your individualism. Um, Me and Jamal been talking about that for a minute. I heard Michelle Gibson said the other day. If you get yourself together as an individual, then you'll be ready to come together as a collective. So individualism is permeating out in the world, and some people are talking about it. But you know, like you said, that's the first step because if you're not in position to um be in control of what's going on outside of you or have some self control when what's going on outside of you is moving to and fro and you don't have no understanding, you're gonna get caught up in the bless you blessings, you're gonna get caught up in the to and fro, man, easy. And there's gonna be a lot of people. The Martian, I think it was the Martian, Stray. And yeah, it's gonna be a difficult time for people that don't have it. And I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of people that don't have it. And as we talked about before, you may be the Christ figure in your family.
Mm.
Me and all been bouncing that off of each other here recently. Um, don't be surprised the people that laughed at you and you was trying to do a diet and and eat healthy and work out and read books. Don't be surprised when those same people come asking you questions and man, you've been reading all them books, man. Like what should we be doing now? You're gonna have to control your ego. Cause your ego gonna want to say, "Mother sucker, I've been trying to tell you this for 15 years and you ain't want to listen. Now you want to come over here?" Nah. But you're gonna have people starting to come to you. You know, you're gonna have people starting to come to you. And that may be the moment you're being prepared for. You may be the one that has to lead, and and it's okay to be comfortable in that space. So it may be us, all this studying and everything thing we're doing could be for that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I want to say this, and I'm gonna check out.
All right.
Um, at the core of all of this, why would people who already have their finger on the pulse of all resources, you've gone around the planet and you have snatched resources from every corner. You you print money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You at the top of your food chain, you have beyond opulent wealth. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So why would something of the magnitude of what we see now have to be done? That's what I think all of us have to keep in the back of our minds, or the front, however you want to spin it. With all of the turmoil that's going on and the threats to security, again,
Mm-hmm.
for a motherfucker to have all this access and to have to do, somebody got to know something. Okay, somebody got to know something. This whole thing of a new age comes in waves. It's not like at this exact time we've been ebbing and flowing into the Aquarian age for over 100 years. You know, what we're seeing is the wave is picking up now. And so all of us are challenged to really, that the fourth world in Kabbalah is Asaya, the world to come. And I think we're all being challenged to sit and visualize what that world is, because these people with their technology are thrusting their vision upon us.
That's a fact.
So we're challenged to envision ours, and at an individual level, because your idea of the aquarium world may not be mine, but there's a good chance there's some synchronicities in there.
Right.
So that's my outro.
It's a good way to end it, man. Keep your head, everyone. Do your research, your studies. Follow your downloads, positive ones. Well, I think the downloads are positive. Follow your positive thoughts, and keep pushing, because and just pay attention. That's what I'm doing a lot of now. A lot of stuff I'm looking at, I'm just paying attention, and you know, and seeing what's going on, and you know, sharing what I find with people. And if it the information works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I feel like if I see something, I should say something. So that's where I'm at with it, man.
For sure. Soul to Soul, I'll check that. Samuel and War, I'll check that out. Samuel. But yeah. So good, bro.
Yeah, good money. Good build.
So yeah, we appreciate everybody who tapped in tonight. Peace, Straight Panther, 11 Road. Let's go down the road called Solar Soul, Brianna, Flex. Says Solar Soul. Let's see.
11 Rogue Disciple 11.
Yep.
Flex.
Leesum 75, 78. Serious Biz tapped in for a minute.
Yeah, Peace Serious.
I think that's it. So peace to y'all. Y'all stay up. We'll catch y'all on the top side.
Peace.
Peace.